Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Professor Roy Sembel. I'm Muhammad Dani Gufron in the International Finance class I'm from BBA 2020. I would like to present my mind map on the lesson learned after the midterm exam. In the first chapter is derivative securities in international finance. So this is the introduction to derivatives. Derivatives are financial instruments whose value is derived from an underlying assets. They are primarily used for speculation, arbitrage, and hedging. There are four types of derivative cover. First one is forward, futures, options, and swaps. The second one is forward. The mechanic of forward is an agreement between two parties to buy or sell an asset at a predetermined price on a specific future date. The key concepts of forward include spot price, which is the current price of the underlying assets. The forward price is the agreed upon price for the assets in the forward contract, and the payoff calculations, the difference between the forward price and the spot price at the contract's maturity. Example of arbitrage using forward contracts is consider an arbitrage opportunity involving interest rate differentials. If the interest rate is one currency is higher than in another, a trader can lock in a profit by borrowing in the low interest rate currency and lending in the high interest rate currency through a forward contract. The third one is hedging with forward. And then we have hedging with forwards. Also, we have comparison of forwards and futures. Forwards, customized contract traded over the counter or OTC. Futures, standardized contract traded on exchange. Liquidity in clearinghouse. Futures are generally more liquid due to standardization and the presence of the clearinghouse, which mitigate counterparty risk. Margin and loss management. Futures contract require margins, which are deposits to cover potential losses. The fifth one is futures arbitrage. Example, oil prices and the future arbitrage. Understanding the relationship between spot prices, future prices, and interest rates is crucial. For instance, if future price deviates significantly from spot price, adjust for the cost of carry, an arbitrage opportunity exists. And in the option give the holder or the right but not the obligation to buy, or we call it a call, or sell, or we call it a put, an asset at a predetermined price. Call and put options. Call options, right to buy an asset at a specific price. Put option is right to sell an asset at a specific price. Payoff structures defined by the difference between the asset's market price and the exercise price. Factors influencing options premiums. Intrinsic values, difference between the current prices of the underlying assets and the option strike price. Time values, additional value based on the time remaining until expirations. Swaps, the nature of swaps. Swaps are agreement to exchange cash flow between parties. Types includes interest rate swaps, currency swaps, and currency interest rate swaps. Uses in financial transactions, swaps can be used to manage exposure to fluctuation in interest rate and currency exchange rates, providing stability and predictability in cash flows. And the next one here is we have ESG factors and green finance. Impact on international finance. Environmental, social, and governance, or ESG factors, particularly green finance, are increasingly influencing financial decisions and strategies. Green finance promotes investment in environmentally sustainable projects. ESG considerations are integral to modern finance analysis and decision making. We also have strategic internationalization and foreign direct investment, or FDI. Stage of company internationalization. The first one is domestic focus. Second one, pre-export stage. Third one, experimental involvement. Fourth one, active involvement. And the fifth one is committed involvement. The motive for direct foreign investment, or FDI. Primary motive is profitability and shareholder wealth, the increasing return and enhancing value for shareholder. Second one is revenue-related motive, attracting new sources of demand, expanding customer base in new markets. Second one, entering profitable markets, accessing market with higher potentially profitability. Third one, exploiting monopolistic advantages, leveraging unique assets or capabilities. Fourth one is reacting to trade restrictions, circumventing barriers to trade. Fifth one is international diversification, reducing risk by spreading investment across different markets. The cost-related motive is establishing subsidiaries, utilizing foreign factors of production, and exploiting foreign raw material. We also have here strategies for achieving DFI benefit. Establishing subsidiaries. Companies may set up wholly owned subsidiaries to control operation and optimize local advantage, or utilizing foreign factors of production, leveraging cost advantages in labor, material, and other inputs available in foreign market. Or we can exploiting foreign raw material, accessing and utilizing raw material that are more abundant or cheaper in foreign countries. And we have consideration for DFI among countries. Weighing benefits against cost and risk, analyzing potential return and inherent risk associated with each country, evaluating market characteristics to determine the optimal method for market entry, changing attractiveness of countries, recognizing that the desirability of countries for DFI can shift over time due to economic, political, or social change. We also learn about the Merrimack and Co. case study, the investment analysis between US versus UK. Merrimack.co considered investing in either the US or the UK. Detailed analysis show the UK offers more stable return, highlighting the benefit of international diversification. And here in the next slide, we have competitive advantages of nation. Michael Porter's diamond model. Factor condition, availability and quality of resources, related and supporting industries, presence of competitive and supportive industries. Demand conditions at home, domestic market demand driving innovation and quality. Firm strategy, structure, and rivalry, competitive environment influencing firm behavior and strategy. Industrial cluster and national industrial policy, examples of countries implementing strategic economic development plans to support key industries. Importance of creating and nurturing industrial clusters to enhance national competitive advantages. And the last one here, risk-return analysis of international project. Efficient project portfolio frontier illustrate the trade-off between risk and return for multinational corporations, MNCs. The location of the efficient frontier varies by industry, with some MNCs achieving more desirable frontiers. The conclusion is, this chapter provides a comprehensive overview of the strategic consideration for international business expansion and investment. It highlights the stage of company internationalization, the motive and strategies for DFI, and the importance of risk-return analysis and national competitive advantage through theoretical framework, case studies, and practical application. The document equips reader with the tools to navigate and succeed in the global marketplace.